Hey everyone, it's Alyssa from kbltexas Homestead, and I'm so excited to share with you guys that I'm going to be making our grapefruit jelly from the grapefruits that we had harvested last month and earlier this month that you guys got to experience and watch me do. That video will be linked below so you can like that one, and don't forget to subscribe and just hang tight and we'll start making our grapefruit jelly. Okay, so I am going to start with these that I've already washed. And this is about how many would make about 5 small jars of jelly. As you can see, I've got bowls and bowls of grapefruit here that I still have to use, and then I still have bags on the counter behind me, and I still have a grapefruit tree outside that is still pretty loaded, so I will plan to be pretty busy here within the next couple days. But let's get started. Oh yeah, okay, now we're in business. I'm just gonna take out these seeds so that they don't end up, or take out as much as I can so that they don't end up in my jellies. And I'm just gonna squeeze them out, and that's how I'm gonna get all my grapefruit juice for the jelly. So really, really homemade, nothing store-bought besides the sugar and the fruit pectin that I'll add later, but definitely organic grapefruit juice. There's a seed that I missed, but I can scoop that out later with a spoon. So I ended up making a grapefruit marmalade, just trial. I didn't record it. I've never made a marmalade before, and so I didn't really even know what the difference between a marmalade and a jam jelly were. Oh yeah, so about the marmalade. We did not like the marmalade, right? It was very sour, very tangy, a lot of a very strong grapefruit taste. So we threw it out and decided to go with something a lot more sweeter, like a jelly. Some bread that I made for today. In the middle of making some grapefruit jam. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is filling this pot with water so that I can begin to boil my jars. I'm actually also going to put this in there, and this just helps to keep the jars from touching the very bottom of the pot. I go ahead and place it in there because after the jars are sterilized for about 10 to 15 minutes of a rolling boil of water, I don't want to have to worry about putting that in there, so that the jars stay upright once I fill them in to get all of the air out and pressurize them correctly. So I go ahead and put it in there now, and I actually bought that at Walmart. It was part of a canning kit, and it came with some other utensils, but so far it's one of my favorites. And I'll fill this up to about, fade away, I don't know if you can see it. And I also fill up a smaller pot so that I can boil my lids and my caps on there. And that way they have their own little pot to come to a full boil. And again, I also boil them. I don't put them in until this is a rolling boil, and then I'll boil them for about 10 to 15 minutes before I put them in the jar that's filled with jelly. Okay, so I have my boiling water for my jars, my pot with boiling water for my lids and caps. This one I'm going to warm up to pour the grapefruit juice in, get that boiling with the fruit pectin, mix it good until the fruit pectin is dissolved, and then I will add, I'll boil that for a little bit, about 5 minutes, take it off the heat, and then add the sugar. I'm gonna do about 4 cups of sugar to about 4 cups of grapefruit juice, give or take. All right, grapefruit is in. once this starts boiling, then I'll add this in there and whisk it until it's all dissolved. It's boiling now, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my cups and lids. I'm trying to keep these guys separate because when I use my magnet to start taking them out when I'm ready, they like to stick together and come out as doubles. This one needs more water too. I should have used a taller pot. Okay, everything is on a good roll boil, even the grapefruit. I'm adding the fruit pectin in now. I'm just gonna whisk that in together so that it mixes really well. So as I mentioned earlier, when I made the grapefruit marmalade, one of the things that's different is the marmalade, the actual skin and pieces of the fruit go into the marmalade, and so grapefruit has its own pectin, and so you don't have to use the store-bought fruit pectin. But unfortunately, like I said, it was just way too tangy, very, very grapefruit taste, go figure. So we decided to go with the jelly, was just more suitable for our taste here at our house. So, but if you're interested, go look up a marmalade recipe. You might like it. It wasn't for our taste buds. Talking about earlier came with these utensils. This just has a magnet, so when I grab the lids and things like that, it makes it really easy. This is to, once you fill the jars, you kind of sweep off the top and make sure there's no unevenness and things like that. I haven't figured out what this is for yet. I haven't used it, but nice to have if maybe one day I will need it or something. This I use to put on top of each jar and fill the jars up, so that makes it really easy and kind of helps with mess. And this helps when grabbing the jars in and out of this hot water. Pretty cool little kit. Actually, I'm just going to take this off the heat. Put it here on my prepared towel and start scooping the sugar and putting it into here. And put about 4 cups. That is a lot of sugar that I put in here, but we eat this in small amounts. It's not to be all consumed in one day. Moderation is always key. Okay, now I'm going to return this to heat, get it to boil for about 10 minutes. I'm stirring throughout. The grapefruit just got done boiling with the sugar and the fruit pectin. I am just kind of ladling out the foam. There wasn't a whole lot in this batch compared to the batch that I had made the other day. And the color, I don't know if you can see, but it's a lot red. I mean, it's redder than my batch from the other day, so I'm pretty happy with that. These guys their 10 minutes are up, so I can start filling them with the jelly. Move your face closer so you can see what I'm doing. example of how they like to stick together. I like to just grab a towel, go over the jar while you tighten it on because these jars are hot. I just want to put it on as tight as you can get it. One thing I didn't mention is you do want to make sure that where your cap is going to screw on, you want to make sure that that is clean. It doesn't have any sticky residue, because if that's the case, it will not seal properly. Just for reassurance, you want to do all this work and then it not seal properly. That would not be very nice. Because I'm going to put these full jars back in here, and they are going to have to boil for another 10 minutes to seal properly. Again, wiping down the edges just a little. My towel is a little moist, so if there is any sticky, it'll just come right off. And this is boiling. I'm going to put these in here to seal. This thing is hot. So, I had some left over. So, you can see it. It's kind of at a weird angle. I'm just taking an old jelly jar that we had here before, and I'm going to pour the rest in here. And I already threw my plastic thing that I was using in the wash, but not hard to pour in there. And I'm not going to go through the trouble of sealing this. I'm just going to stick it directly in the fridge, and that'll be for us. Okay, so we are at our 10-minute mark. These babies have been boiling. I started putting my tools up. Now I can take them out of this water, this hot water bath, and put them in a spot where they're going to be out of the way. Nobody's going to mess with them, and they can finish doing what they need to do so that they're sealed correctly. It's just right over here. They don't need to be under a light or anything. I just have the light on from earlier when I was making bread. I like to use these lights to help the bread rise, so whole nother video and project. The batch I made today was definitely a lot darker in color compared to the batch that I had made the other day. The batch I made the other day is a lot lighter in color. You can tell the difference there, and then with these. So I'm really excited about that. But that's how I make my jelly. I'm planning to give these away to some of our closest friends and family. Maybe with some fresh bread or crackers or just little garnishes like that.